This is Mary Burris of Flowering Cactus and Rethink Fitness, and I promised a yoga class every week, and here it is. So this is one level up from last week. Last week we did a very gentle beginner class. This will still be a beginner level class, but anyone can practice, and it'll be great if you practice it 4 to 6 times this week and you feel really confident with it. You can move on to the one I'm going to do next week. If it feels like too much to you, go back to the other 2 I've already recorded for you. All right, let's get started. Palms to the heart center, and please note I have 2 blocks with me. If you don't have blocks, that's cool, but they're really great for practicing yoga. And also, please note I'm in the hallway here at my home at River's Edge, so my neighbors might walk through with their dogs at any moment. So just know that that's a possibility. All right, ready? Let's go ahead and get started. Palms to the heart. Breathe in. Close the eyes for Om. Om. Beautiful. My neighbor. Fingers to the sides and turn the palms up. Breathe in. Lift up out of the hips. Exhale, leaning to one side. Take a breath here. And you want to make sure you're straight, not hunched over. Okay, so straight up. And pressing this hip down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, same thing on this side. Straight up. And if you're, instead of having your hip here, press it down. And breathe in, come to center. Exhale. Take your hand to the outside of your knee and take a gentle twist. Inhale here. Exhale, twist to the other side. And pause here. Then we're going to change the cross of the legs and go the other way. So breathe in. Exhale, leaning to one side, pressing that hip down. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, other side. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, take a twist. Breathe in, rise up. Exhale, take a twist. Inhale here. Exhale, come to center. Now I'm just going to turn to one side. Move my blocks out of the way here. And we're going to fold forward. So breathe in, lift up. Exhale, plant your hands first. Breathe in, lift the heart up, come up out of the hips, and then walk forward. So by lifting upwards out of the hips, we help them to be a little more mobile. So maybe you're here leaning over, that's great, but try to relax, let your head go. You should feel a nice stretch. Take a breath. And then inhale, walk your hands up. Arms rise up, lift up out of the hips. Thumbs face the glutes, fingers face away. Draw the shoulder blades together. And when you breathe in, you'll just press the heart up. And make sure you're looking forward instead of up. This is really important. And you're pressing here up, like you're going to put your heart up on the ceiling. Exhale, release. Now change the cross of the legs. We'll repeat that movement. So, breathing in. And exhale. Hands come to the floor. Breathe in. Press the heart up. Lift up out of the hips. Exhale. Come forward. Let your head relax and take a breath. And on your inhalation, walking your hands up. And then exhale, thumbs face the glutes. Press the heart up towards the ceiling. And exhale, release. Okay, awesome. So now we're going to do a little cat-cow warm-up. We did this on the video last week as well. Move these out of the way. So wrist, elbow, shoulder lined up. So my hands are directly under my shoulders and my knees are directly under my hips. And so breathing in, drop the belly, turn the tailbone up. The shoulders go back. They're not up here. They're rolled back towards the hips. Lift the gaze. And then exhale, tuck. And press the floor away. Draw the belly in towards the spine. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Inhale. And exhale. Breathe in. And exhale. One more like that. And exhale. Okay, now take your knees a little bit further apart and come into child's pose. So the hips come back, the arms come forward, bring your head down, and take a couple of breaths here. And if it feels good, you can come up on your fingertips like you're making little spider shapes with your hands and reach your knuckles forward to stretch your shoulders. Remember to breathe. And then on your next inhalation, rediscovering the tabletop. So we're going to practice a balancing pose on the floor this time. So the right fingers come forward and the left toes come back. Keep everything on the floor until otherwise directed. Then draw the belly in towards the spine, and on an inhalation, lift the arm. The thumb is facing the ceiling. And then if you feel steady, and only if you feel steady, raise the leg up. Reach with the heel. Do not point. Reach with the heel. So you're reaching. This is going to help with your balance. Take a big breath. And one more big breath. And exhale, bring it down. And now we'll do the other side. So left fingers here, right toes on the floor, draw the belly in, breathe in, lift up, and then the leg comes up if you're feeling steady. Everything is parallel here, and breathe. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, this time when we come into child's pose, turn your toes under and press back so that you're stretching your feet here. This is really important for your feet, waking them up. And then on your next inhalation, walking the hands towards your knees and coming into a squat. So from here, breathe in, lift the tailbone up, exhale, lower the heels, and come into a forward fold as best you can. And make yourself as loose as you can from your hips to your head. Go ahead and find your elbows to release that temptation. Just stretch down towards the floor. We want no effort at all from your hips to your head, just loose. So that when you nod your head, your body moves just because it's moving. Just because it's loose, not because you're making it loose. Okay, so take a breath. And relax. And then on your inhalation, begin walking your arms up your legs as you stack the vertebrae one at a time, nice and slowly. Head comes last, and then here we are. And I apologize, it's very dark in here because the sun is hidden by the clouds today. So I'm just moving this so you can see more of my body. We're going to practice a basic sun salutation now. Last week you learned how to come into Tadasana. So you'll come into Tadasana and take your blocks. So even if you're an advanced yogi and you're like, oh, I don't use blocks because I'm so flexible, using the blocks really helps to, in this particular practice, actually, I'm going to turn this way because I'm tired of turning my head that way. using the blocks really helps to get this deep hip flexor stretch, and that's one of the things we're going to do right now. So finding Tadasana here. Sorry, you can't see me against the gray door. Try it this way. Okay, so find your Tadasana. Inhale. Exhale, palms come to the heart. Breathe in. We sweep the arms up and lift up out of the hips. Exhale, forward fold at the hips, lead with the heart. We've already had our forward fold for today, so we're going to inhale and come halfway up, reaching the tailbone behind, reaching the head forward, and so you want your back completely flat here. And then exhale, find the blocks, step your right foot back, and line up. You're going to line up your leg here so that your ankle and knee are stacked. Weight goes into the blocks. Breathe in. Exhale. Let that hip flexor sink down. Roll those shoulders back and down. Tuck the hips. And you should feel a nice lengthening in the hip flexor area. So weights in the hands so the hip flexor can really relax. Breathe here. So if you sit a lot, this is an absolutely wonderful position for helping to counter that. We really mess up our hips when we sit so much. And breathe in. You're going to bring the blocks with you. And the tailbone goes out. Like if you had tail feathers and you were going to show them off, you tip your tailbone up. The heart is open. The toes are coming towards the shin, and you should feel a lovely stretch in the back of your leg here. And inhale, bring the blocks up. And if I'm moving too quickly, go ahead and pause the video. Hands, I'm just moving this so you can see. Hands come onto the mat. We step this back, bring the knees down, and then hugging the elbows towards the chest, come down in a reverse push-up. And then we come into the cobra pose. So tops of the feet are pressed into the floor. The elbows are back. You should be using your upper back muscles so you can lift your hands up off the floor. Exhale, turn the toes under. And we're going to press to hands and knees and then press into an upside down V. Fingers are spread nice and wide. Your hands have contact with the floor. Exhale, let your left heel come down. Inhale, come up on all 10 toes. Exhale, let your other heel come down. So breathe in and come up. Exhale, the first foot comes down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, the second heel comes down. And then from here, your gaze goes between your hands, and any way you need to, if you need to carry your leg or whatever, you're going to take your leg and bring it up to your right thumb. So your right foot is coming up. You guys will have your blocks already available. You won't have to move them. Again, there's that same alignment. Ankle right under the knee. Weight goes in the hands on the blocks. Breathe in. Exhale. Let that hip flexor relax. And breathe. Remember to breathe. It's super important. And then from here, bring the blocks back with you. Tailbone goes out, heart goes up, toes come towards the shin. We get a stretch in the back of the right leg. And breathe in, come forward, release the hands from the blocks, turn the toes under, step the left foot up to meet the right, breathe in, come halfway, exhale, forward fold, inhale, press into the feet, engage the abs and the legs, sweep the arms up, little teeny back bend if it feels good. Exhale, palms to the heart. Okay, so that was our sun salutation. You can repeat that if you like. It's not necessary, but if you would like to, that's fine. So from here, balancing pose. So last week we participated in the tree pose. It's super easy. This time we're going to do something a little bit different. It's a basic balancing pose just to bring variety into our lives. But you do this the exact same way. You prepare for it the same way. You're going to plant your heel on the floor, spread your toes nice and wide, and shift your weight. And then find a spot on the floor for your gaze and put your toe forward. Okay? Bring your palms together at your heart center and then lift up. So make sure you're looking at the spot on the floor. You're using your lower abs. Ladies, go ahead and engage the mula bandha, which is all the muscles between the pubic bone and the tailbone. And then if it's possible, bring that out to the side and then bring it back behind you. The leg should be straight, not here. I see this all the time. I want it nice and straight. Whoop. Sorry, I threw myself off balance when I looked that way. And breathe in, lift it here. Exhale, place it down. Now if your balance is really off and you're working on your balance, you'll need to, you might need to have your hand on a wall or something. You can see the movement sensors went off back there, so it's gotten even darker in my video today. Apologies. But if I'm going to keep up with my promise of making one of these every week, this is just going to be the way it is today. So we're going to practice that balancing pose on the opposite foot. I'm going to face you this time so you can see this differently. So plant the foot, find a spot for your gaze on the floor about 5 feet in front of you. Bring your hands together at your heart and put your toe on the floor. Engage your abdominals and then lift up. So if you start to feel wobbly, a trick is to engage the lats by pressing your hands together. And then bring it out to the side. And then back behind you. Inhale, the leg comes up. Exhale, place it down. Nice. So each step prepares you for the next step in that balancing pose. All right, great. We're going to practice a basic warrior pose this morning. Also, before coming down onto the floor, I say morning. I don't know when you're practicing this, but it's morning here. So for me right now. So for the warrior pose, come to the top of the mat. Find your Tadasana. Breathe in and step your left foot back. So my right foot, the toes are pointing towards the short side of the mat. My left foot is at a 45-degree angle facing this way. Take my right hand and put it on my right hip. Left hand on the back of the left and turn the hips so they're facing as forward as possible, like they're headlights driving down the highway. And then bend this knee. So you want this knee to be right over, just like that stacking we did before, knee over ankle. This is really important to get as balanced as possible, and this is a very strong pose, and we want it to be as balanced as possible. You can use your left glute to steady your hips, and breathe in, lift it up. Arms come up next to the ears, my palms are facing each other. Big breath, exhale through the nose. Another big breath. And exhale. One more. And exhale. Palms come to the heart. Step the left foot up to meet the right. So now I'm going to practice that same pose I'm going to put the right foot back this time, but I'm going to practice it facing you so you can see it a little differently. So, finding Tadasana, breathe in, and this time I'm stepping the right foot back. So now you can see the difference here. These toes pointed forward, these at a 45-degree angle. I'm adjusting my hips so they're facing forward, and breathe in, the arms come up. Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Breathe in. So see if you can make your exhalation twice as long as your inhalation. And then from here, the palms come to the heart. Step the feet together. Now we'll come down to the mat in Malasana. It's very important to squat every day. On my YouTube channel, Mary Burris of Flowering Cactus, I've got a video with my Rethink business partner, Al Condi, on why it's important to squat, and you can check that out. If you have any questions about this, breathe in, exhale, bend the knees, the elbows come to the thighs, and you press your hands together to open the hips. Now this might be difficult for some of you. I understand. There are that video that I just mentioned, Why You Don't Know Squat, I think is the name of it, will give you some pointers on this. This is a very important pose, very important position for your body to be in, because it is the basis of all getting up and getting out of chair, getting out of your car kind of movements that you'll need for the rest of your life. All right, exhale, come on down. And last week we practiced a bent leg forward fold. We're going to do that again because this is still a beginner level class. Actually, I can move up a little bit. I can be closer to you now. So the knees are bent. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, fold forward. So the idea behind the forward fold is to lengthen the lower back. And a lot of people have trouble doing this with their legs straight. So if you're not getting enough stretch out of this pose this way, you can move your feet a little more forward for this time, so if you've been practicing. Of course, if you are an advanced level practitioner, you can go ahead and straighten your legs and do this. But you want to make sure that you're really getting a stretch in the lower back. Let your head go. Breathe a big breath way down into the lower back. Expanding those muscles. And exhale, release. Inhale again, way down here. Breathe into the lower back. And exhale. One more time, big breath. And exhale. And then slowly come up. Okay, and now we'll practice the twist. So I'm starting with my right leg, drawing the left leg up towards my chest, crossing this over. The right arm wraps around, and the left fingers come forward. So don't twist yet. We're going to breathe into the twist. Very important. Inhale, lift up out of those hips again, increasing the mobility. Exhale, the hand comes behind you, and you look over the left shoulder. So this is still a rather beginner level class. So we're just going to keep hugging this leg, and you can press that right calf into the floor. You'll know you're doing it correctly because your foot will come up like this instead of being here. It'll be up. Breathe. One more big breath. Big inhale. Exhale, unwind. I'm going to turn my body just so that I'm not facing away from you. So I'm facing you is what I'm saying. You don't need to turn. Okay, so now the right leg comes in towards the chest, pressing the left calf into the floor so my foot comes up, And wrapping the left arm around, the right fingers come forward because we don't twist until we breathe into it. Inhale, lift up to increase that mobility. Exhale, find your twist. And relax anything you can relax and maintain the pose. So a lot of people hold stress in their face or jut their chin out or whatever, shrug their shoulders, just chill out. Breathe and relax. Smiling helps. Again, breathing into that lower back. One more big breath. And now big breath in. And exhale, unwind. Okay, fabulous. Now we're ready for a back bend. So today we're going to start practicing the bridge pose. So it's good to have a pillow or a block, a bolster or something for this. And the way we're going to come down onto the floor is planting your feet and sitting up, and then breathe in, exhale, coming down one vertebra at a time. I need to move my block so I can get it when I need it. And just keep coming down one vertebra at a time, nice and slow. Okay, great. So we're going to practice the bridge pose today. So I'm going to scooch up a little bit. You're going to bring your heels towards your glutes and have your block nearby. You should never twist your head in this pose, so I'm going to stop looking at the camera. Press your feet into the floor to lift the hips, and you're going to take your block and place it underneath your sacrum. And then relax with your arms next to your side. You should tuck your shoulders a little bit. Arms next to the side, palms up, or you can hold on to your heels if that feels good. Now, maybe this is not enough stretch for you. Maybe it's plenty. If it's plenty, stay there. If you feel like you need more stretch, you can lift your hips higher and place the block the highest way up there. And just breathe. So we are getting a back bend, but we're also preparing the body to do this on its own. Again, keeping in mind that many people that will be participating in these videos have never practiced yoga before. So I want to help you to prepare your body. 2 more breaths like this. And then big inhalation. You're going to move so you can remove that block from underneath you. Come down very slowly. Hug the knees into the chest and rock gently from side to side to give your lower back a nice massage, which feels awesome, awesome. Okay, now we're going to turn over and practice a little Shalambhasana. So coming onto the belly, and arms are extended in front. So breathe in, lift the right arm and the left leg. Big inhale. Exhale, bring it down. And then left arm, right leg. Breathe in. Big breath in. Exhale. Okay, that was fun, right? So we've had our twist and our back bend. Now it's time for our inversion. Last week I showed you the legs up against the wall, and you can still do it against the wall. In fact, it feels really awesome to do it against the wall. I'm not going to move to get against the wall right now. So I'll show you how to do this just using the block without the wall. So it's just like getting into the bridge pose. The heels come towards the glutes, you press in. This time you're going to place the block, but it'll be flat.
right under the sacrum. So it supports your sacrum and your hips. And then you just lift your legs up. And you want it to be in a comfortable place on your lower back. So that's really important. Putting it too high or too low is going to put too much strain. So you want to make sure that you're supporting the sacrum. Your hips should feel stacked on top of the block. And here we are in our inversion. Again, never turning our head in an inversion. So letting that heart have a chance to pump blood in the other direction than it normally does. So helping to improve circulation and heart health. This is also great for digestion. So you can stay up in the legs up position for up to 15 minutes. It's a great rejuvenating pose. Just for the sake of time for this video, I'm going to go ahead and come down. But feel free to pause this and stay up for longer. So the way you come down is you bring your feet down to the floor, press into your feet to lift your hips, remove the prop, whatever it is. And again, to hug your knees into the chest. But this time, take your hands on your legs and using your hands to motivate your legs, draw a circle or make a circle. This feels so great around the sacrum. Just a really lovely, lovely self-massage technique. And then the next time your knees come to your chest, make the circle in the other direction. And then from here, it's time for Shavasana. So we have a twist. So I'm going to make little cactus arms here. You can have your arms out with your palms facing down if that feels better. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Breathe in. Exhale, let them drop to one side, and then you're looking over the opposite shoulder. So you can take your hand and bring your knees down closer to the floor if that feels good. And then breathe in, the knees come through center. Exhale, they drop to the other side, gaze goes over the opposite shoulder. And then breathe in. Exhale, hug your knees into your chest and let your forehead come up towards your knees. And inhale, unfold and come into your Shavasana. So this is the resting pose. Shavasana is the most important pose in yoga for real. And it's really important to give your body time to relax and also time to rejuvenate. I will not be talking you through a Shavasana here, but I have recorded a 20-minute Shavasana, and I'll make sure that I post it also so that you have it and you can use it at any time. All right, so that's our practice for today. It's the next level up from the practice we did last week. And again, if you feel like this is too advanced for you, you can go through it at your own level. If anything hurts at any time, don't do it. Try to follow the breathing practices, but if you feel like it's too much for you, go back to the previous weeks. And you can alternate these practices now, and that's just fine. It's not like you get to a level and then you have to stop practicing the other ones. You can keep practicing them. Every level of yoga is good for you. So, thank you so much for taking advantage of this yoga practice and allowing me to give this gift to you. So breathing in for Om.
Stay well, stay positive, and stay safe. Sending blessings out to you and your loved ones. Hari Om, this is Mary Burris of Flowering Cactus and Rethink Fitness. And again, if you'd like some more yoga tips, you can go to my YouTube page. It's Mary Burris, Burruss of Flowering Cactus. That's Flowering Cactus, Flowering Cactus on YouTube. All right, Hari Om, everyone.